Full disclosure, I have not seen a ton of Predator movies. I've only seen the first one and the first Alien versus Predator. They just were never really like my go-to genre, you know? I would have much rather have seen like a comedy or something just a little less violent, especially as a kid. I was a little squeamish. Um, but the first one, I think, is so great because it starts off as this almost parody of an 80s war action movie. You know, there's one liners and explosions, and they're all sort of, you know, we don't play by the rules. We're just going to go in the village and just get the job done. 80s guitar, you know, and muscly men just gripping hands, and you see the biceps, and it's like, oh, I can taste the testosterone. And then as the people die off, it just becomes a man trying to survive, man versus wild sort of premise. And I think what is so great about Prey is that like it is a survivalist movie just from the get-go, with the main character trying to become a better hunter and trying to prove to her tribe that she can hunt. But when I first heard that there is a movie called Prey, I thought, wow, what a stupid name for a Predator movie that would be. And then it actually is a Predator movie, and then I saw the trailer and that bear fight scene. I was like, oh, this looks awesome. And one of the huge strengths of this movie is that it is a fairly simple story, and I think there is a lot of effectiveness in that simplicity. Like I said, I haven't seen the other Predator movies. I don't know how extravagant they get. I don't know how elaborate they get. But just having woman or person versus predator in the woods is amazing. It's just so simple, and there's so much you can do with it, because I think there are a lot of parallels between Predator and the main character in this movie. Throughout the entire movie, but especially in the beginning, you see how her brain works, how she is as a hunter, how she has to use her size, lack thereof, to her advantage. She uses speed, she can be kind of more agile, she uses her brain, which the men in her tribe do not use because they rely too much on brawn. And when the predator touches down, you see him surveying things and understanding how the planet works. He sees like a little muskrat thing and is like, whatever. And then he sees the snake, kills the snake real easy. Then he fights a wolf, then fights a bear, then it's humans. Like there, you see this escalation of how he's figuring out like what is a challenge, what is the biggest game on Earth, you know? And we kind of see that with her, with figuring out like what the predator is, because we see him a little bit more than she does. So, you know, but you see her putting it together. She sees like green blood. She doesn't understand it. She sees the predator's footprint, which is giant. And she's like, okay, this cannot be a bear. Like this is something else. And there's also a great parallel where she sees like an entire field of skinned buffalo, and she's like, okay, like there's no sport in this, you know, there's no like honor in this. And then she sees the cigar, so she's like, okay, colonists, the evil white man. And then later on, the predator comes across the exact same field of skinned buffalo, and you don't even see his face, but just how he's like observing things. At least this is my interpretation. I saw this as like, well, there's no honor in this, because I feel like the predator has a code. You know, he's not gonna unleash his big bazooka on a squirrel. You know, he's gotta like wait to unleash stuff. And that's another great thing actually in this movie, is that for a while he's just using his fists and his like Wolverine blades on a few of the bigger things, and like he just punches a bear, dude. Like that's so badass. And I feel like this movie, while not being over the top like the first Predator, does have a little bit of that like macho vibe that's kind of ingrained in the franchise a little bit, where because he's real big in this, man. Like this, the Predator has a little bit of a redesign, no armor, it's very basic design, but like the face is a little different. He has sort of like a skull helmet, which is really cool. But like, yeah, he punches a bear, dude. Also, the actor who plays Sanguinet from Shoresy is in this, which I thought was awesome. It was cool to see him.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinet.
The camera work and the cinematography is really great. There's this really cool scene where she's on top of a tree branch and she has her bow and she spins around and the camera doesn't perfectly move with her, you know, like how some movies do that, where you can tell like a person actually moved the camera because she's not like perfectly center, you know, the whole time. Really cool, like over the head shots, especially when she goes to actually hunt and go back for her brother. All of the women in the tribe are going one way and she's going the other way. A little visual storytelling, a little goes with the motif, a little mwah, a little French kiss for you. But yeah, this movie fucking rocked, dude. And like when she is finally going against the Predator, man, it's pretty wild. Like it's awesome. Because they like earned it, you know, like you see her learning, you see her getting better. She has a hatchet and she ties a rope to it at one point. So then you see her, she has to kind of relearn how to use that tool now with the addition of the rope. So she swinging it around, seeing how fast she can do it. She uses it to get out of this bog at one point. She's like sinking and she uses it kind of like a batarang. And then when she's finally going against the Predator, it's earned because she's like, okay, I've studied you a little bit. I've had a lot of instances, interactions with you. I know how to fuck you up. And the Predator, of course, being the Predator, he is pretty confident he's going to fuck her up. And everybody gets some good licks in. It's awesome. It's really cool. I think this movie has really excelled with going back to basics. But yeah, I highly recommend Prey. I think it's really great and it's a great story. Great action movie. A lot of heart. The dog lives, and that's sick. But yeah, I think Prey is awesome. If you saw it, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. And if you like what you saw here, you know, make sure to subscribe and check out these other videos on screen. Thanks for watching, guys.